Yo, guys, it's Froggystyles here in Mediocre Trader. We're about to open up on some news that we just found. Found a really good video. I figured I'd share it with everybody because I thought it was kind of fun to watch. So I'll let Mediocre Trader go ahead and open things up as I get the video linked here.
Your mic stopped working, or my sound?
It's probably your sound.
I don't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Turn up your speaker. All right, so let me get this linked up here. Some Tesla news here. We got solving the money problem with Steven, was his name, Mark Ryan or whatever. He did a really good video on this, and I figured I'd cover it because it's talking about the Twitter stuff that's going on. And I thought it was a really well done video, so there's no reason for me to go and try to make a separate video. So we'll just cover this one. It has all the juicy details in there, and it's kind of funny too. So you get everything all straightened out over there, Mediocre?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go like this then.
All right, so let's fire it up.
Well, the plot thickens. Elon Musk has officially made an offer to acquire Twitter. Yes, all of Twitter. To buy 100% of the company and then take it private. Funding secured. The shit has well and truly hit the fan. In this video, I'll discuss how we got to here, Elon's offer, and what I think happens next. So, let's get into it. Hey, rarely a dull moment.
So one good thing about Elon trying to buy Twitter, he's looking to bring out free speech more than what it is right now. Obviously, there's been a lot of censorship and a lot of weird stuff that's been going on. So Elon looks like he's going to take charge and do us a favor and try to clean up Twitter. So let's see what he's doing.
When it comes to Elon Musk, quote, I made an offer. Let's see what that offer was. Over here on the SEC website, quote, I invested in Twitter as I believed in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe. And I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. You and me both, Elon. However, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. As a result, I am offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash. In case anyone missed it, sure enough, there's a $4.20 in the buy price. Who'd have thought? This price is a 54% premium over the day before Elon began investing in Twitter and a 38% premium over the day before Elon's investment was publicly announced. My offer is my best and final offer, and if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. And remember, Twitter stock has surged about 40% since it was announced that Elon Musk had acquired a stake. What if he sells? Any guesses? What might happen to Twitter stock? Yeah, I don't know either. Twitter has extraordinary potential. I will unlock it. Skipping ahead just a little bit, 1.
So yeah, raising the price up on a stock a lot with an aggressive buyout offer it's a win-win for all the shareholders. Plus, you know he's going to make changes to the company and it's going to be positive. So I think that's definitely a positive.
Best and final, A, I am not playing the back and forth game. B, I have moved straight to the end, aka I am not f***ing around. C, it's a high price and your shareholders will love it. D, if the deal doesn't work, given that I don't have confidence in management, RIP, by the way, I saw this coming from a fucking mile away. Nor do I believe I can drive the necessary change in the public market. I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. This is not a threat. It's simply not a good investment without the changes that need to be made. I actually believe Elon's right. Twitter, social media, big tech, all in a downward spiral for the same stupid reasons. Some people can't see it and that's fine. These companies are doomed. And those changes won't happen without taking the company private. Shortly afterwards, Elon Musk asking Twitter, quote, taking Twitter private at $54.20 should be up to shareholders, not the board. About 85% of respondents agree. Of course, I assume most of the board will block it. After all, most of them won't have a job should this company be taken private. Now, Elon's not here to kick people out just for the sake of it, but if you're incompetent, if you're brain dead, if you're infected with the woke mind virus, you will no longer be working at Twitter if Elon has his way. So I don't imagine the board overall being highly supportive of this decision. In my opinion, It really should be up to the shareholders of the company as to whether or not the company is purchased and taken private. Whether or not shareholders will agree overall, who knows? My suspicion, probably not, but I don't know the first thing about the kind of people who would actually invest in Twitter stock. Like, seriously. To me, you basically own the Titanic, slowly sinking due to the woke mind virus, the censorship, the fact-checking, the deplatforming, and all the other horseshit that comes along with that. Some people don't see this as a big problem, but I've been thinking for the last few years as my eyes have continued to open wider and wider and I see what's actually going on. Social media, big tech are on a path that does not end well. Now things get
So I don't know what everybody else's opinion is on this. I'm going to actually open up a poll here, let you guys vote on it. Is it a good thing that Elon buys Twitter? And then there's a yes and no response. In your opinions, go ahead and hit that poll if you think it's a good thing, and we'll check it out at the end of the stream here. So let's go back to the video.
Extremely juicy. Here's a tweet, quote, "I don't believe that the proposed offer by Elon Musk comes close to the intrinsic value of Twitter, given its growth prospects. Being one of the largest and long-term shareholders of Twitter, Kingdom_KHC and I reject this offer." Now, I'm not going to go too far into this. You guys are welcome to do your own homework and figure out, wait, who the what's Kingdom? This rabbit hole goes rather deep. Let's scroll down just a tiny bit. Elon Musk responding. "Interesting. Just 2 questions, if I may. How much of Twitter does the Kingdom own? Directly and indirectly. What are the Kingdom's views on journalistic freedom of speech?" Spoiler alert. The Kingdom say something they don't like, you die. I'm not joking. Do your homework. P.S. I'm sure Pete Rawlinson and Lucid are having a fun time watching the exchanges between Elon and the Kingdom, their largest shareholder. And by the way, just to be clear, the reason for my laughter isn't at all about the despicable assassination of a journalist at the hands of the Saudi Kingdom. No, instead, it's about Elon Musk's 420 IQ question posed to one of Twitter's largest shareholders about journalistic free speech. There is absolutely no way to respond to Elon's question without completely self-owning. Hey, what's this reply from Alex Barado? "Hey Elon, don't forget about this doozy. Former Twitter employees charged with spying for Saudi Arabia." Elon's response says it all. And ladies and gentlemen, it gets even more ridiculous. And I mean ridiculous. Here we have
one of my least favorite places out there, Goldman Sachs, always in the middle of problems.
Have some comments from Old Man Sachs.
Huh?
I like this guy. His video's good.
Yeah, he's on point. I've been watching him for like at least a year now with Tesla. Like, he's really good. But he knocked this out of the park.
Wait, I think I said that wrong. You know, that company with the money and the things and the stocks and whatever. Well, turns out that Old Man Sachs have been taken on board by Twitter to help advise whether or not this offer is reasonable, blah, blah, blah. Let's just get to the fucking point. This delicious tweet from Zero Hedge sums it up perfectly. Quote, "Well, this is awkward. The Twitter board hired Goldman to advise it that the Elon $54.20 offer is too low. Only problem, Goldman has a sell rating with a $30 price target. You fucking idiots. Seriously. Twitter's valuation is more reflective of the..."
I mean, that's just classic. They want people to think it's not worth anything, so they tell you to sell it, so then somebody else can go in there and buy it. So it's the same thing what happened to AMC and GME. They had sell ratings on it and said it was going to like a penny, and then if people went in and bought it up, you kind of beat them to it because they were tricking us into getting out of it. And it didn't work. We ended up buying more, and they missed their opportunity to basically steal these companies.
The current multi-year investment cycle, we reiterate our sell rating and lower our price target from $36 to $30, reflecting the same value multiples on lower for blah, blah, blah. In other words, Old Man Sachs think Twitter is worth $30 a share and advising people to sell the stock. Yet they're also advising Twitter that Elon's offer of almost double that is not enough. You fucking morons. And the fun continues. Let's rewind the clock a few days. April...
Now keep in mind, Stephen Mark Ryan is actually him from Solving the Money Problem. Yeah. So this is pretty interesting because like just before all this got announced, here he is. 11th,
some idiot called Stephen Mark Ryan posted this, quote, "Am considering taking Twitter private at $69.420, funding secured." Now, I don't know who this Stephen Mark Ryan guy is, but I've got to give this dude some credit. I mean, here's a tweet. "In the terms of Elon Musk, as if to say this is what Elon Musk will be doing in the future, not only calling Twitter being taken private, but also a 420 in the buy price. Total fluke, of course. Anyway, this guy's obviously just was a lucky guess, wasn't it? The same guy, at the same time, also posted a strange poll. Quote, if Elon Musk decides to buy Twitter, all of it, would you support this decision? To do so, the sale of more Tesla stock is likely necessary unless, and I want to be clear here, unless is probably the more likely outcome. We don't know for sure, however, unless Elon...
AMC Bigum just posted something about Twitter's not going to let their shareholders vote. Then he said, imagine what they're doing to our elections. Yeah, good point.
Takes out the largest line of credit in the history of Earth. Most of my followers, most of this guy's followers on Twitter, again, I don't know who this dude is. Most of his followers or her followers, you can be whatever you want, it's 2022. Most of he, him, her, they, that's followers own Tesla stock, and 50% don't support this decision. Caveat, almost 18% just wanted to see the results. So this is actually a much higher percentage overall. This same idiot also wrote this, quote, a few people are taking this poll other than intended. FYI, Elon doesn't need close to 100% ownership to control Twitter. I'm not asking if you support Elon buying enough to control Twitter, but if you support him buying the entire thing. And then, as if this man had a time machine. Next step, taking Twitter private. Funding secured. What a fluke, hey? But now a more recent tweet after the news broke that Elon had made the offer to acquire 100% of Twitter, quote, not at all surprised to see Elon make an offer to buy Twitter with 420 in the price and take it private. Were I in his shoes, and if things went down as I assume they did, board seat rejection equals clue, we'll talk more about this in a moment, I'd be doing the same thing. No choice. Free speech matters. But now, back to the old Elon Musk rejecting the board seat and what an obvious clue that was. We saw this tweet from Parag, current, and I do underscore current CEO of Twitter. Elon has decided not to join a board, blah, 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 blah. Let's just get to the point, okay? Last paragraph here. There will be distractions ahead. Like what? Is it possible Parag saw this one coming? Is it possible the entire board, the executives at Twitter, tried to muzzle Elon Musk, silence his ability to speak freely, to share his thoughts openly on the platform, said that we want to control you? Literally the worst thing you can possibly do to somebody like Elon Musk. He's literally buying a stake in Twitter to advocate for free speech. Then he's attempting to join the board and they're trying to put all sorts of restrictions on his ability to speak freely. Clearly, he gives them the double bird and says, go fuck yourself. I guess I just have to buy the whole thing. And of course, this is all speculation, but following the breadcrumbs here, it's certainly possible. Parag somehow knew there will be distractions ahead, but our goals and priorities remain unchanged. The decisions we make and how we execute is in our hands, no one else's. Almost as if Parag here is reassuring the snowflakes at Twitter, don't worry guys, even if some big scary man buys our company who's big on free speech, it's okay because we're running the show, we're controlling decisions, don't worry about any big bad man buying our company if that ever happens. Obviously it won't, because I don't know that's going to happen, but if it did, you don't have to worry. Let's tune out the noise. I wonder what noise that might be. I don't know, maybe Elon offering to buy the whole company and going all over the news? Nah, it couldn't be that. And stay focused on the work and what we're building. Now, another tweet from this obvious Tesla bot. Bro, 3 first names, what a giveaway. Quote, most will disagree, but this may be one of Elon's most important contributions to humanity. The very fact most people don't understand how important this is exactly why it matters so much. A few years ago, I wouldn't have understood this. It pays to keep your eyes open. Now, I hate to say it, but I also believe it, so I'm going to say it. I believe that there are people who understand how critically, fundamentally important free speech is to a functioning democracy, and there are also folks who simply don't understand. They just can't join the dots. They're blind, their eyes are closed, and hey, that's okay. I was once one of those people as well. 5 years ago, if Elon Musk had made this offer to acquire Twitter and was fighting for free speech, I would have thought, what the fuck are you doing, Elon? Seriously, just focus on Tesla and SpaceX, bro. But unlike many, I've had my eyes open in the intervening years. I see what's going on, and I'm deeply disturbed about where things are headed. I am not joking when I say this might go down as one of Elon's most important contributions to humanity. One final point on just...
Very good point. Everything Elon's doing is trying to help the people out. And you can tell the SEC don't like it. So they're already coming after him for different little things right now, trying to slow him up. Tells you right there, SEC's not on our side. So
I don't think so. Not at all.
Let me check that poll real quick. Looks like we got a lot of votes in on it. So let's check the result. 87% thinks it's a good thing that Elon buys Twitter. I think you're 100% right, just because of the fact that Elon does care about the people, and I think that's why he's doing everything that he does.
I agree. He's got the money. Let him take it private. He's got the money to pay for it. if he pays out the shareholders at a fair price, what's the problem? I see no problem.
Exactly.
How important this really is. Quote, much butthurt will ensue, which is how you know this matters. Much of the political left is going to flip the fuck out. Count on it and watch what the left-leaning media has to say about this. They will absolutely lose it. Many Tesla and Twitter investors will whine too. Free speech matters. So let's talk about what I personally think is going to happen from here. Unfortunately, it's not the ideal scenario, but I think, probabilistically speaking, this is the most likely outcome. The board on Twitter overall reject this offer from Elon Musk, despite the fact they have a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interest of their shareholders. You know, the poor...
You hear that? Fiduciary duty thing I've been talking about for a while. It's very important you do what's best for your shareholders, or they can go and basically sue you for everything you're worth. So definitely one thing that they need to be watching out for. If you screw your shareholders, they'll come get you.
Sods who've made, or what are we looking at here, 8.24% in total return since Twitter's IPO back in 2013, almost a decade ago. Stunning. We're looking at annual growth of about 1%. Speaking of fiduciary responsibilities to Twitter shareholders from members of the Twitter board, remember the message we saw from Parag? Well, let's read a little bit closer. The board and I had many discussions about Elon joining the board and with Elon directly. We were excited to collaborate and clear about the risks. We also believe that, and wait for this because talk about an own goal, Twitter are going to have a hard time justifying rejecting Elon's offer. Again, we just looked at the stock price. It's done absolutely fuck all for a decade. Elon Musk now buying into Twitter stock and offering significantly above where the stock was before he started buying and before his stake was announced. Twitter shareholders up about 40% as a result of Elon's involvement. Should this offer be rejected, shareholders will lose out on give or take, call it 30, 40, 50% on their stock that's done nothing for a decade. So let's continue. We also believe that having Elon as a fiduciary of the company where he, listen closely, like all board members, has to act in the best interests of the company and all our shareholders was the best path forward. The board offered him a seat. So good fucking luck to the board rejecting this offer and justifying such a rejection. Being scared you're going to lose your seat on the board isn't a valid excuse. That's not in the best interest of Twitter shareholders, is it? I guess the board could always argue that Elon Musk is an incompetent businessman with a terrible track record, right? So here's how I think things play out from here. 1. The board rejects Elon's offer, but Elon pushes for shareholders to vote on the acquisition, not the board. 2, shareholders, I don't know, maybe it's a 50-50 chance either way. Maybe they support, maybe they reject, I don't know. Personally, were I a Twitter shareholder and Elon Musk was taking the company private, I'm going to get a massive premium on a stock I made no money for a decade, I'd definitely be supporting the offer and getting the fuck out of the stock. But that's just me. Should the board and or shareholders reject this offer, well, that's when Elon Musk is just going to have to do what he has to do and start a competitor. And this may be one of the biggest shitstorms in the history of shitstorms. It's hard to know how things will play out. This is all pure speculation, but I tell you what, it's going to be anything but boring. And here's something to consider. Can anyone watching think of any other person on the planet who'd be willing to invest $40 billion in something they firmly believe in, such as upholding the principle of free speech? I certainly can't. And just finally, some more exciting news breaking today. That's right, ARK Invest's new Tesla stock price.
So with that all being said, if he does try to work with a competitor, who's not to say that he doesn't go over to DWAC and try to help Trump Social over there? So
yep.
Everything's on the table. It's very interesting.
What happens if he pulls out?
Oh, the stock price is going to get smashed.
Exactly. So how's that good for their shareholders?
It's not.
Exactly.
So the board's in trouble no matter which way they look at it. They're stuck between fiduciary duty and Elon going to probably fire them any which way they look at it. So, I mean, they basically have to do what's best for the shareholders, which is get fired.
Exactly. I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting. Right before midterm elections.
Yeah, just in time. It'd be kind of nice if more billionaires would step up and do stuff like this, where they start fixing some of these broken companies.
I agree. I mean, it's pretty sad what goes on. I mean, I'm glad that he's doing this, because this should have happened a while ago, in my opinion. But you know, who am I? I don't got that kind of money. If I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys. Well, maybe I would. I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing that really got me thinking was the fact that the SEC is already hot on Elon's tail. Like, instead of looking at the market manipulation with AMC and GME, they're like, let's go stop Elon from making free speech great again.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could tell that those bums down there at the SEC aren't doing their job and don't care about people. So it's just like a double exposure thing going on all at the same time.
What do you think happens if Elon Musk does get to buy the whole company?
I don't think he needs the whole company, but I mean, if he did, that would be nuts. I mean,
I think so too. But I don't know if he has to buy the whole thing or not. But if he gains the control over the whole company, the stock price, if he doesn't own the whole thing, is going to go up. So that's good for shareholders, no?
well, they got that problem with the Twitter bots over there. You see what's going on with that LMNOP thing that they're doing over there?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I'm not a Twitter person because I mean I go on Twitter now, but I don't usually go on Twitter because I don't like to support platforms that aren't really
Well, the
free.
LMNOP thing is basically supposed to be like a code for like AMC or something like that, and it's been making the algorithms over there go stupid. So those little bots that they got that are scanning everything and doing whatever they're doing, who knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing, but they do influence things. And Elon even said a while back ago he wants to be an influencer. Thought it was a joke. And those bots, that's what they do, is influence. So he's basically buying a bunch of influencers by buying Twitter. He that now can actually influence things, and we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, it's interesting what's going on. I can't wait for the story to play out because it's like I don't know, it's like a movie. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Randall Cornett says, "Hey, I got your message. Family is staying at my house this weekend, but if anything is possible this weekend, it'd be Sunday night. Keep up the good work, and I'll stay in touch." Yeah, any day that you're free, man. If Sunday night's it, that sounds good for me too because that's the Sunday thing that's going on. So we got the Easter turnout that's going on. So we'll be back on tomorrow. Definitely trying to open up from start to finish of the day, doing different stuff too. I got other stuff to cover, and we are going to be covering the U.S. coin goofiness that's going on there in that AMC token next. So we're going to go and pull up some information on it and then bring it out. So
appreciate you, Randall, and what you guys do too.
Yeah, Randall, I'm looking forward to definitely working with you, man. So if it ain't this weekend, we get a group together. Definitely next weekend, like to pull as many people in as possible and like broadcast to everybody. So whatever message you bring to the table, it gets out to as many people as possible. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Well, that's pretty much it on the Tesla thing. I wanted to make sure we got that brought out here. And then we got 2 more to do. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I didn't see any questions or anything. So, yeah, hopefully that was good for you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.